And after quite a long break of not being able to record, we are back on the Heart of England Way trail. We're actually starting today in Broad Campden at the end of the section of today's Heart of England Way. We're going to do the return loop first, head back towards the Middleton Hills farm, down through Chipping Campden, and then back here to Broad Campden. Hope you enjoy it. So this is Broad Campden. Dogs are very keen to be out again. We've not done long exploring walks for a while. I think they want to go that way after the runner, but we're actually heading down here. Actually turns out the dogs are right. It is this little footpath down here. So I might just let them off for a bit of a scoot. Wait. Okay. We've just come out of that little track down there, that footpath. I think this is sort of the edge of Broad Campden still. We're just going to head down here. A little bit of road walking. Beautiful property with those trimmed trees. I'm not sure that either of these two would be very good in a sheepdog trial. I mean, Danny's kind of black and white like a collie. Don't think he'd be any good, would you, boys? Right, carrying on this road just for a bit longer. So we've come down this road here. Now we're going to get back on this footpath. Isn't it beautiful? I would say the peaceful Cotswolds, but I can hear Bailey huff puffing like mad. So first of all, I'd like to say a great hello to Sarah, who I met yesterday when out walking the dogs on the way back from work. And she recognised me, well, she recognised the dogs from watching the video. So hi Sarah, hope you've enjoyed the next few legs of the Heart of England Way that you and your husband are walking. And just to say an apology for being such long gaps this summer between managing to get videos. Combination of Danny being lame, crazy work schedule, and heat waves meant it was quite difficult to get out, but we should be back on it now. I don't know if you can see, but up ahead is a railway crossing. I'll try and have a look and see which railway line it is, but obviously gonna have to be careful, and I've just put Danny on the lead already, just to make sure I've got him back in good time before we have to go across that railway line. Right, railway line successfully crossed. And then we're going to go on down there. That sounds like a helicopter above us. Oh no, little light plane. This is nice, a little bit through the woods. Boys are going in and out the brook. We're just walking alongside. Now this is slightly different from what I'd plotted, because I want to sort of be going there, but it does look as though if we walk up here, we'll then be able to hang a right. We're heading towards Paxton and the church, which is sort of over there, and it does look like if we follow this track we'll hit a footpath. In fact, this might be it here. We've walked along this lovely path through this woodland, and that bridge is private and the footpath goes this way. And there is a much more used path going across there, but stick straight ahead, heading for the renovation. Presumably the church is behind that scaffolding. In fact, this little building here is the church. And there's a World War I memorial. That building behind the scaffold is the Churchill Arms. We're going to go up this little road here. Look at the signs on this building. Hovis, Spiller's dog food. Isn't that charming? Obviously converted into houses now. So that's out of Paxford, and Ebrington is our next destination. Down there. Of course we're not walking on the road to Ebrington. We're going to take this footpath, which I almost didn't see. But apparently this is it. So having clambered our way through that bit of hedge that was marked by the blue sign, you could have just cut them along here. But never mind. Right, let's check there's no sheep and then I can let Danny off. So that is the village pond by the looks of things. We've just walked alongside this orchard and the dogs have beat me to it. Let's go this way. Bailey, come on this way. I think that's the village of Ebrington. We're sort of just doing a slight loop to get to it. Ooh, getting towed by a very strong spaniel. So it's like we're heading through that gate there. But just because there's sheep in that field there, I'm just going to keep Danny on the lead. He's a bit too interested in sheep for my liking. It was quite a tricky gate up there because it was tied with such bad baler twine. But in the end I had to cut the baler twine and then re-tie it once I'd walked through the gate. But now I've just hit this farm track. We're just going to follow it down there and that will take us to a B road which we'll cross over before we carry on to Ebrington. So we've just crossed the B something. Back on the fields again. I just left Danny on his lead because you can't see it on the camera, but over there, which we may have to walk through, is a field of either cows or sheep. Either way, Danny will need to be on his lead because I don't want him running around with cows, and he's definitely not allowed to run around with sheep. So far he seems quite happy. I think Bailey wanted to do some racing. And there's Ebrington up ahead. Oh, blackberries are coming. There's actually a little bit of grass in these fields. It's still very hard and dry underfoot. Now, it's not every day you have to look out for planes, but yes, this is a runway. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but this is a plough and furrow field. I'll show you this way, you might see these little rises up and down. As we head into that corner of the field over there. We're now in the village of Ebrington, that's the Ebrington Arms, which I think we're slightly early for it opening. But this is the Ebrington mosaic that Bailey is demonstrating. If you put your walking stick there, and there's some sun, and have it facing north, its shadow will tell you what time it is. Isn't that lovely? You'll feel dizzy going around it. Anyway, we're going to head up that way. So as we walk out of the village of Ebrington, we've got about a kilometre and a little bit on this road. I mean, it's a quiet road, Camden Road, before we will turn off back onto footpath to head back to the scene of the Battle of Middleton Tunnel, where we left the Heart of England way last time. I hope you can make out that topiary. It's like a teddy bear and a duck. It's so cute. So we've come down that road. Didn't see much, 1 or 2 cars, 2 people running. Now we've just turned off. We'll just turn down this track as we sort of head, I'm guessing, northwest, back up towards Middleton Hills Farm, which was where in the last video you may remember there was a wedding on. Danny is rolling in all sorts of revoltingness. Definitely a bath for him when he gets home. Little so-and-so. When we last walked this way, probably nearly a month ago, this field was a sea of purple because of all the thistles, but they're just white fluff now. So we're back at the farm, Middleton Hills Farm, I think it's called, where we left the Heart of England way last time. If I just turn that way, that's Heart of England way, and we left, went over there, which is the way we've just come from. As you can see, it's still August, so it's the end of August, and actually it's been cooler over the last few days. It's warm, it's warmish today, it's sort of humid. And I gave the dogs most of my water, so roll on Chipping Campden where I can get something to drink. Ooh, tripping over a dog. And if you remember, this is the scene of the Battle of Middleton Hill, and I'll just put up a picture of the sign that tells you all about it. It was between Brunel and one of his own men who used to work from a contractor. The summer of 1851, in the early hours of the morning, they converged on the tunnel and fierce fighting broke out with 3,000 men involved in the fight. I'm not sure how good a crop the farmer's got. The straw bales look quite spaced out. Definitely a low yield year. Chipping Campden just ahead. As you can see, this part of the Heart of England Way runs alongside the Monarch's Way and Chipping Campden this way. So this is St James's Church in Chipping Campden. Apologies for the traffic noise. So we are just going to head round that corner, pretty much where that grey car's going. So these gates are part of the entrance to the church, just there. I wonder what this interesting structure is. It almost looks like like if it had water in it, it would be a wheel wash to wash your carriage wheels. Who knows? So we're on the high street of Chipping Campden, as you can see. Plenty of references to the money brought in by the wool industry. Obviously it's a bank holiday weekend, so inevitably there's going to be lots of people around. So this is the market hall, built in 1627. Isn't it fabulous? It's still here in the centre of Chipping Campden. And this is either the start or the end of the Cotswold's Way that goes all the way to Bath. I'm not sure what the inscription actually says. Maybe we'll do the Cotswold's Way another time. In the meantime, Heart of England Way is going to carry on down there. Cotswold Way, Heart of England Way. So we just come through that archway off the high street, past this cafe, and we're going to head on that way. And just in case you're in any doubt if you were on the right trail, having walked all the way along that path and past the sort of park, lots of people having picnics, as we just about get to the road, we don't actually go on the road, we take this little, as you can see from the sign, this little left here, and then we're just following the side of the road but on this footpath, so I think the boys can go off. This field is full of clover, which is flowering these little sort of lilac-y coloured flowers everywhere. We're headed on this way. Broad Campden ahead, and the pub is calling. This is the village of Broad Campden. And now we're back at the church that we walked past right at the start.